we felt like we've known each other our whole lives. So I am just very blessed to have you in my life. So thank you for that kind introduction. As Babette mentioned, my background is a financial advisor. And so I was introduced to this business, through my husband. And I was always a supporting role, kind of, in the background. But what really drew me into this, and what God actually has laid on my heart to share tonight, is the mindset aspect and the positiveness of this industry, which, Michael would leave and go to events, and he would come home and he would share things. And it was like music to my ears. It was like I had a longing or a craving, like I wanted whatever that was. And I didn't know how to pinpoint what it was, but I didn't realize, growing up, you may have been brought up with, there was an Avon lady, or someone sold Mary Kay, or, these different kind of things. But what you don't realize is there's this whole other side to it, regarding mindset and just, changing lives. And I was in the corporate world, and, there, you don't ever really get taught these kind of things, right? You might have a team building exercise or something like that, but people just go to work, and just do what they got to do, and then just go home. And there might be growth within a specific profession or whatever, but I'm talking about real life-changing, mindset type stuff. And so I was gravitating towards that. And I couldn't pinpoint it. I didn't really know what it was, but I knew that I wanted more of it. So that's what really has, captivated me or kept me so engaged in this industry, is the actual changing lives. Meaning, Michael and I grew up in very negative households, and I honestly didn't know that things could be different. I didn't know that I could change my life. I didn't know that I could think a different way. Like I said, it was in a very negative household. And, my mom was like, life's tough, just get used to it. Right. But like, in other words, like, these are the cards that you were dealt, just get on with it. This is just how it is for our family, or, things of that sort. And I did have, my parents were divorced, and I did have little glimpses here and there. I'd go visit, my godmother, one of my dad's cousins, and she had her act together, right? She had a great job, she was happy, she was positive, and it was different. And I was like, this is how it's supposed to be, like, you know what I mean? This is what I want, right? And so I always, throughout my life, I always gravitated towards and tried to leave my house and go other places and spend the night with other people and get to with other relatives that didn't have going on what I had going on at home. And so I was always kind of drawn to that. And so I had a glimpse of it. I kind of knew that there was a different way. But really, this industry and network marketing kind of really opened my eyes to something bigger. And so I had a mentor, and she was like, it doesn't have to be that way. Like, you get to choose, right? And I didn't know before that I got to choose. I just thought that that's how it was. I didn't realize that just with just a mindset shift, that I could change not only the trajectory of my day, my week, but years, but my life. And so God's really laid it on me tonight to share about mindset. And I just want to share with you some of the things that have helped me and that I do, because really, and my husband talks about this all the time, this business is 90% mindset. The other 10% is just doing the things. And that really is the way that it is. And so I think it's important. There are many leaders out there that kind of don't really talk about mindset or don't really care about mindset. And I think maybe that's just because maybe they don't want to face some things, and they don't want to deal with some things that they really need to deal with in their life. And that's okay, because maybe eventually they will get to that point. But I feel like it's my duty to share the things that I've learned as quickly and as fast as I can to maybe help somebody else out there. And so if it's okay with you, I'd like to share some things that my husband and I practice, or some things that kind of help us with our mindset. And just, there's so many things going out there in the world right now. And Babette talked about hope, and there are people that need hope. And so we can give that. So one of the things I like to talk about is, we talk about waking up in gratitude. It's very important to also go to bed in gratitude, right? So all of us have been there. You have a crappy night, you fight with your spouse, whatever, you have a bad night, and you go to bed with that. And then a lot of times you wake up in the morning and you have residual effects of that night before, right? So not only is it important to wake up in gratitude, but also to go to bed in gratitude. So we want to wake up, I wake up, and as soon as I wake up, I thank God that I woke up, that I opened my eyes, so you wake up in gratitude. Maybe you wake up and you pray right away. Maybe you wake up and you're thankful that a certain thing doesn't hurt on you, like your joints, or maybe you wake up and you're not as stiff as you once were, so just waking up in gratitude, starting your day that way. And then I like to write down things that I'm grateful for. So I would suggest write down like 5 things that you're grateful for. You might have a journal next to your bed or in your nightstand drawer. Kind of jot down those things and start your day off that way. So not only what you're grateful for, but why you're grateful for it. Because you could so easily say, oh, I'm so grateful I have water and food and electricity so that I can be warm. And yes, we are great for all of those things, but there's something about tying something to what you're grateful for. For example, I'm grateful for Amplify because it provides a platform to where I can earn an income and I can have time freedom. Or I'm grateful for my mom because she watches my daughter so that I don't have to send her to daycare, right? So what you're grateful for and why you're grateful for it. So don't just write down the things you're grateful for, but why you're grateful for those things, because there's just something to tying that together that just kind of grounds it a little bit more. The other thing is, for me specifically, I like to set myself up for success for the day. And that means different things to different people. But for me specifically, I like to get up and get ready, take a shower, do my hair, do my makeup, because when I'm out in the marketplace, people will receive me better when I make eye contact with them, when my posture is going to be different when I've actually taken the time to take care of myself and I feel good and look good. It just makes a difference. Like I said, I'm received different by the marketplace. Now, if I wake up, throw my hair in a bun, put my slides on, my hoodie on, and I'm going to the store or whatever I'm doing, I'm probably not going to want to make eye contact with people. I definitely am not going to want to chit chat and get in conversations. And what I've basically done is closed my store or kind of like shut myself down. And I'm not open to receiving, right? I'm not on my ears. I'm not open and in tune with people and what's going on around me. So therefore, I'm not going to be of service to others because I'm just thinking about me, maybe what I need to grab in the store and get home to the kids. I'm just in and out, right? I'm not in the mood for chit chat and all that, right? Because I don't really feel that great about myself, or so my posture is going to be different. So it's very important, whatever that means for you. For me, it's getting ready, right? I'm definitely more apt to do a reel, to do a Facebook Live, to get on a Zoom, right? I'm more likely going to do those things. I'm more likely going to show that I'm open for business if I have set myself up for success and if I'm ready for the day. So that's very, very important to me. Now, maybe for you, you need to get up and get your exercise in. Maybe that's what sparks it for you and sets you up for success for the day. Whatever it is for you, do that thing, set yourself up for success for the day. Some people, it's starting out reading their Bible and then taking their dog for a walk, whatever it is that gets you in that forward motion and that trajectory where you're having those positive feelings, you're feeling good, and your posture will therefore reflect that. So set yourself up for success for the day. Positive affirmations. Now, some people might say this is kind of woo-woo or out there or weird. It's actually not. Your subconscious is always listening. That's why it's so important to do this. So even though you might think it's weird or it's not really working or not really doing anything for you, trust me, it is. Just keep doing it. And what I mean by positive affirmations, I'd like to actually backtrack. Some of us maybe have a hard time taking a compliment or have never been told really good things about ourselves. This might be a little uncomfortable and a little hard for you, and that's okay. The more you do it and the more you get used to doing it, then it won't seem as weird. But for some people, it's kind of emotional because they actually don't believe these things about themselves. If you've been told, you're worthless, you're a piece of crap, you're all these things growing up, right? Maybe from your parents or whoever. You're going to believe that about yourself. But the good news is that you can retrain your brain. It takes a while, it takes time, it takes dedication and consistency, but you can retrain your brain to go toward the positive first and not the negative first, like you've maybe been raised to do. Or maybe, there's many people have been through different abusive things in their lives. And so They don't believe those things about themselves because they've never been told those things, and they've never had positive self-talk. They've always had negative self-talk. So we want to switch our negative self-talk to positive self-talk. And the way to do that is by reciting positive affirmations. And I would suggest saying them in front of the mirror to yourself. But if that seems weird to you, you can start by not doing it like that and eventually evolve into saying them to yourself in front of the mirror. Some examples of that would be, I am smart. I am kind. I am beautiful. I am healthy. I am at my perfect weight, right? So those are things you can say to yourself. Some things you can say business related, right? I am a diamond leader with Amplify. I am attracting amazing, positive leaders into my business. I am a money magnet, right? So you can say personal things, and then also it encourage you to say things regarding your business. So I think that's really, really important. So you want to be very consistent with those things, no matter how funny or weird or uncomfortable they seem. And go in the bathroom, shut the door, and lock it, right? You don't have to do it in front of anybody. This is for you. This is for you. This is for you to have more belief in yourself. Now, this is something that's really, really important, and I see this all the time. Do not compare yourself to others. That is just a thief of joy. It's one of the things that I think is the most common out there. And we definitely need to stop this as a community, as a people. We just need to stop this. Do not compare yourself to others. Please, please, please. This is your journey. I'm going to cross paths that I'm meant to cross paths with. Brian is going to cross paths with people that Brian is meant to cross paths with. He is going to touch people that I'm not going to be able to touch, and vice versa. He has a certain style. Babette has a certain style. Darylyn, Ron, we all have our own way. And this is, some people will think, oh gosh, this person's moving faster, moving up the ranks faster. That's okay. You're going at your pace. You're growing the way that you need to grow. You're experiencing the things in your life that you need to experience so that you can then share those with others, right? It's not, this person's doing this thing better than me or vice versa. No, this is your journey and your path. You're going to touch the people that you are meant to touch at the time that you are meant to touch them, right? So, we often have an ailment like IBS or Crohn's or fibromyalgia or something that's affected us in our life. And we're like, why, why God, why me? Well, God, how can you use this? How are you going to use me having this ailment? And maybe it's that you have this ailment and now you've taken these amazing gut health products and now you have a story to share with somebody, right? If we never went through things, whether it's physical, mental, whatever, if we never went through things, then how would we be able to have compassion with somebody else that's going through something? We wouldn't, right? We go through things, we grow through things so that we can be a light unto others, so that we can serve others, so that we can share with others. If I didn't go through the things that I went through, if I didn't grow up the way that I did, if I didn't realize that I could change my life, I wouldn't be able to share that with you right now, right? So think of it as, why is this happening to me? Why am I going through this experience? And then you have to be in tune. When you're out and about in the marketplace, when you're, wherever you are, you need to have your ears and your eyes open. You need to be open to receiving and listening to whatever and whoever God has put in your path, because that's what it's about. Like I said, if I'm closed down, if I'm not open for business, I'm not in tune with whatever's going on. And then I'm not going to be of service in that moment, right? I'm not going to be able to be used of God. And that's what we want. We want to be used of him. So do not worry about the part of the journey that you're on. You're on the part of the journey that you're supposed to be at the time that you're supposed to be at, so that you can cross paths and be a light unto the people that you are supposed to have encounters with. So please do not compare your journey to someone else's. The other thing I want to mention is that do not be afraid to set boundaries. It is okay to set boundaries. You are in business. This is your business, right? You're a 1099 contract worker or in business for yourself, right? You're self-employed. That's 1099. So you can set your boundaries. You can set your business. You can open your business and close your business. You can do what you need to do throughout the day. So we homeschool our 3 younger daughters. And so I have to be able to block off time so that I can do what I need to do in my household, because that's what's important. That it's important that I take care of the things of my home so that I can show up and be better in my business, right? And so one of my responsibilities is homeschooling. So I have to block out certain hours of the day for homeschooling and then certain hours for business or whatever else I need to do. That's okay. Don't be afraid to set boundaries, because if I don't set those boundaries, my phone will be going off like crazy, right? And I'll just be going ping, 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 kind of like a ping pong ball, or what was that game, Pong or whatever, where the ball's like jumping everywhere, right? I'm going to be looking at this and then I'm going to get distracted from this. And then I'm going to start doing this. And then I'm not going to really be good at anything that I'm doing. And so that's not good for anybody. So I have to set boundaries. And that's okay to do that. Now, not only time boundaries and things like that, you can set boundaries regarding toxic relationships, toxic people. You can set boundaries. I mean, you don't have to receive negative information, negative drama from anyone. So you can set boundaries in that way as well. If you have somebody that's messaging you and sharing gossip with you or bringing negative things to you, you don't have to receive that. And I don't receive that. And actually, I don't get, my phone doesn't go off, or I don't get pinged with messages about any gossip or anything negative. Why? Because I don't feed into it, right? What you feed will flourish. What you neglect will die. Do not feed into those conversations, because what's going to happen if you feed into those conversations, you're going to get more of those conversations, right? It's going to, what do they say? Misery loves company, right? So you're going to feed into that. And then those people that thrive off that and draw on that, they're just going to come at you left and right. And and you're not going to get anything done. And it's just not going to be good for anybody. So it's your responsibility to nip those conversations in the bud, whether it's gossip or just toxic relationships, whatever it is, you get to choose, right? And you're not doing anything wrong or bad to anyone or anything. You don't need to feel bad about it. You have to take care of you. And if that's something that affects you and bothers you, you have to be able to stop it, because you're not going to be good at any of the other stuff. So do not be afraid to set up boundaries. That's very, very important. The other thing is action kills fear. So, a lot of times we're afraid to do something. So maybe you're afraid to do a Facebook Live, right? Understandable. Everyone's afraid to do their first Facebook Live. So maybe that's why you haven't done one. But I guarantee if you get over that hump and you lean into fear and you do that Facebook Live, even if it's for a minute, even if you just, hey, I just hopped on here. This is my first one. I'm just doing this to get over my fear of doing this. Hey, can I get some love out there? Can I get some support? Okay, I'll try again next time or whatever, right? Just get on there. Once you do one, then you're like, okay, I can do this. Like I did that, I can do it. So that's just an example of a Facebook Live. But whether it's talking to that person you've been afraid to talk to or whatever, action kills fear. Action spurs on more action. So if you're having, a season or a month or a week that's just, and you're just not really doing anything, take action and just start doing something. I guarantee you're going to feel better about yourself, and it's going to lead to more action. So action kills fear. Remember that. Keep your why in the forefront. And I know that sounds so cliche and like, oh, maybe you've heard that term, that saying tossed around here and there. It's so important, especially when you're having a rough time. You just remind yourself, like, why am I doing what I'm doing? What is this all for? Why am I doing this? Is it because you want to retire your spouse? Is it because you want that financial freedom? Is it because, you want to be able to have extra income to travel the world or live out your passions or whatever it is? Keep your why in your forefront. It's also really important to be consistent every day. We all have bad days, and that's okay, right? But if you have a bad day, give yourself some grace and, try to do better the next day, right? The Lord's mercies are new every morning. So, you might've had a rough night, you sleep on it, wake up in the morning, the sun's rising or it's light outside. And it's like, you have that feeling like, oh, okay, I get to do it again. That's a beautiful thing. A gift I believe that the Lord has given us is the newness of a new day, and that his mercies are new each morning. So, if you had a rough day yesterday, that's okay. Try to do better and be better the next day, right? So don't be too hard on yourself, because we all have bad days. This industry is known as kind of like a roller coaster ride, right? That's why mindset is so important. So, you get a new customer, maybe you reached out to a chiropractor, you signed a new VIP, and then all of a sudden, somebody quit the business, or a customer didn't have the results that they thought they were going to have on the product, right? So it's this constant highs and lows, right? That's why mindset is so important, right? Keeping your focus, knowing why you're doing what you're doing, doing your positive affirmations, being grateful every day, right? It's keeping that focus and not getting distracted by all of the other things that can distract us. And mindset is so important, because just know you are going to have, it's not going to be for everybody. That's okay. There's a million more people out there that need our products, that don't know that they need them, that have never heard about us, that don't know what AMP coffee is, that don't know anything about leaky gut. There's just a million of people out there that haven't heard about us. So it's okay if this person didn't get the results, or this person decided to quit the business or go elsewhere. That's okay. Remember, this is your journey. God's going to put the people in your path that are supposed to be in your path. So you don't have anything to worry about. And then the last thing I want to talk about is, your DMO is super important. That for those of you that don't know, that's a daily method of operation. There is a method to the madness, right? So you don't want to spend, we of course want to love on the community, right? We want to be supportive. We want to be, we are that tight-knit community. So we definitely are all about that. However, you do want to also make sure that you're going outside of the community, whether you're commenting in groups, you should be getting new friends each day, right? Friending new people, all of those things in a DMO that you should be doing is to get you in front of new people, right? Doing reels, trying new things, right? Getting you in front of new people. Because if you're just continuously spending all your time on commenting on VIP stuff and all the people that we know and love, that we, all these people on here, right? That's great. But then you're seeing their stuff, they're seeing your stuff, and then you're not getting out there and getting to the other people that haven't heard about us yet, right? The other thing is, you want to have an 80-20 rule. Like, let's say you only had an hour a day to work this business. Some people have large families, they have other commitments, they volunteer, whatever, and have full-time jobs. And maybe they only have an hour a day to work their business. Okay, that's fine. You can do this working an hour a day, but you want to do 80% outside doing income generating activities, and then 20% in the community, right? You want to comment, make part of your DMO commenting on the Happiness Gut Connection page. It's really important to comment on there, on testimonies or whatever, because that brings it back up into people that you've added in there. It brings it back up in their newsfeed. And what does that do? That does your follow-up for you, because maybe they had forgotten that you even added them in there and that they were going to go back and look at it again. And so we want to actively go in there and make comments, because that's going to bring that back up through their newsfeed, right? So an 80-20 rule, 80% income generating activities, 20 on the other. And if we break it down in time, that's 48 minutes doing income generating activity and 12 minutes supporting the community and loving on and encouraging and all of that. So imagine if you flip-flop that. Imagine if you were doing the opposite and you were loving on the community for 48 minutes and you were building your business for 12, which we've all been guilty of doing. How much of a business are you really going to build, right? So you need to make sure you have that straight in your mind. And you want to make this part of your lifestyle, right? It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be, just naturally, right? And it's meant to be shared naturally so that people come to their own natural and logical conclusion of why they want to do this business, or why they want to be a customer, or why they need this product, right? Nobody wants to be sold to. People are just sick and tired of being sold to. And so, make it part of your everyday life. Like we have, Michael talks to everybody. He has a gift for doing that. But we'll have people that come over to like a handyman to fix something or whatever. And, it just comes up in conversation naturally. Hey, what do? And then Michael maybe will connect with the guy and then maybe connect me with his wife, right? Am I going to go message her right away and say, hey, guess what? I have these amazing products and I do this, that, and that, and we make a side income and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not going to do that. Right? She's going to be like, whoa, who's this lady? I don't even know this person. What's going on here? yes, we can get really excited. And I understand you, we know that everybody needs this, but they don't know that they need it, right? You need to be sharing with them through your social media, right? Or sharing a story, or they're going to maybe see your lifestyle, or you shared a testimony or whatever. You don't need to try to sell them. And if you've added them to the Happiness Gut Connection group, that group will sell them for you. You don't need to, right? Just be you, treat people the way that you want to be treated. Just be a real person and have natural conversations. And I guarantee you, it will end up coming up in the conversation. You know, Michael and I will be out to dinner, and he'll connect with the waitress because he always does. And, you know, he's going to do it. He already knows I'm not going to do it. I mean, I'm friendly and nice and I say hi, but, you know, he takes it a step further every single time, and that's fine. But then he'll say, you know, why don't you connect with my wife, right? Because somehow, you know, they'll start talking about what do you do, or this or that, or whatever. He'll just say, why don't you connect? We're new to the area, right? Why don't you connect with my wife? And so I'll connect with her, but I'm just going to connect with her, and we're friends on Facebook, and, you know, just chit chat, whatever. I'm not going to tell her anything about my business, right? She's going to see my stories. She's going to see my reels. She's going to see my news feed, right? She's going to scroll through. Don't you do that when you first get friends with someone, right? Or you're interested in someone, you stalk their Facebook, right? You scroll through, like, what is this person about? Is this someone that I jive with? Is this someone I can connect to, right? So that's what they're going to do. And they're going to see, and then it's going to pique their curiosity naturally if it's supposed to happen like that, right? So just be a genuine person, have fun, and be you, because the world needs you. The world needs your light. You're put here to be of service, to share. And so just be yourself. Don't overthink it, and don't make it harder than it has to be. That people need hope right now more than ever, like Babette was saying. And so by you sharing a story, by you tagging someone in a testimonial, you know, without you even having to sell them, they're going to read that and they're going to be like, oh my gosh, if this worked for Larry or Barb or Clayton or David, Dr. David, if this worked for them, then it can work for me too. And that's going to give me the hope, right? And we're all looking for hope, whether it be, or maybe Brian's just talking about, he works his job, but then he has this side gig. And so he's able to do this, that, and the other. Maybe someone's like, don't forget about the money part of it. People are in debt and people need side incomes right now. So, maybe they might get some hope, like, oh my gosh, if Brian can do this and he can earn this extra money and he's able to travel and go to these events and stuff, maybe I could do it too, because I'm just a normal guy like Brian, and I work a job, and I'm friendly. Maybe I can do it too, and maybe I can pay off some of this credit card debt because it's really weighing heavy on me, right? So just put yourself in someone else's shoes and treat them how you would want to be treated, and they will come to their own natural and logical conclusion as to why they need or want this, or maybe they don't, because it's not going to be for everybody, and that's okay, because once again, God's going to put the people in your path that are meant to be in your path, and you're going to be able to share with them. So that's what was on my heart tonight to share. And I hope that touched some of you and helped some of you. I think it's really important for people to know that things can get better. Your life can change, and there is hope. So thank you so much, Babette, for allowing